Hello everyone. Welcome to another stream. How are you guys doing? Actually, let me go to this camera so we can chat. Um a couple of minutes ago, I think it was at least. Um Crypto Ricardo said, "Good day team. I doubt I'll catch the live, but have a great time." So, thank you Ricardo if you're watching this either right now or later on. Hello Funny Toro, hello Jax. Welcome. Is my stream lagging for you too? It is lagging a little bit. Welcome. Let's see here. Stats. Let me see these stats here. Yeah, video a little bit of lagging. Let me see if I can fix this here on my end, because it's supposed to be. I didn't change any settings. 1 second, guys. Hello, Sleep Money Maker, Erman. Hello, Daniel, James. Hello, Cosmin. Try to fix the stream right here. Output. Okay. If this doesn't solve it a little bit, then I'll just fix it later. We have options to sell. So stream settings. Unfortunate. Anyways. Hello, Justin. Hello, welcome. So let's talk about the Shanghai event that just happened this week, happened the 12th. And it seemed that it was a success because what ended up happening is the opposite of what most people were expecting. So instead of people going and once they were able to unstake um, this Ethereum, they actually staked more. So the amount of staked Ethereum went up, which is amazing because everyone was scared that what would end up happening is everyone that staked Ethereum 2 years ago, they were just gonna sell it, which thankfully that did not happen. So great for us. And we've seen Ethereum reach all the way to a high of 2,122, actually a little bit more. So it was very good for Ethereum. Bitcoin as well reached 30K. Right now, Bitcoin is at 3,200, 30K 200. So very, very good. Unfortunately for us, we were neutral. So we thought in our last week's trade, the options that we sold last week, we thought that Ethereum was gonna just, not Ethereum, but crypto was gonna just stay neutral, nothing was gonna happen, just like what happened with the merge. It was priced in, at least this is what we thought. So we sold a 30K strike for a 30K call for Bitcoin, which ended up not being a smart idea. But during the week, actually right on Monday, the first thing on Monday, what I did was I closed this position, which was the first rally from 28, I think it was. From 28 to 29 and 29,000 or something. That first spike, it already got the price very, it already got the price of the options very, very high. So I had to close that. I took a loss. I'm going to show that to you. But because it was on a Monday, I just flipped on Ethereum. So I closed the Bitcoin position and I opened a put on Ethereum, and that actually worked out amazingly. I also took another bet. I opened a long position, so I didn't sell any calls. I bought a call. I bought a 30K call for next week. So on Monday, I bought one for April 21st. And I'm going to show you how that looks. It was just a couple of, I think it was $30 more or less. Just so if it was profitable, we could have we could have mitigated the losses that we've had this week. So let's talk about what we made that was right, what we made that was wrong, and what are the plans for this week. I hope at least the audio is okay. I see here there's a lot of frames dropping. I don't know if it is my internet, which doesn't seem so, because it seems that my speeds are okay. I don't know what it is, so apologies. I hope at least the audio is okay. So let me share the screen right here, and we're going to take a look at our options. So we are looking at our spreadsheet. This spreadsheet, again, if you want to use it, it is for the Sleep Money Club members. I already started working on the V2 of the spreadsheet because there are some things that this is lacking, even though if it is a very good tracker. But the next one, I don't know when it's going to come out, because I'm not putting all my efforts, all my brain cells into figuring it out. Sometimes it is hard, but eventually we will have the V2, and then the V1 I might just release for the public, for whoever is not in Sleep Money Club and wants to use it. So what ended up happening is that we lost $69 in April so far. If you remember March, we also were negative $70 negative, I think, and we flipped it. We got positive. So I'm confident that April will also end up being positive month. So I'm fine with this loss, just because we acted fast. We acted very fast. Let's take a look at the options history right here. Also, if you guys have any questions, just let me know as well. Right here, we can see that the call is still open because it expires on April 21st, but I opened it on April 11th. So our position that we opened was the Bitcoin. We sold this Bitcoin right here, and we ended up losing $190. Yikes. So why was that? Because the price of Bitcoin skyrocketed very fast, and when it moves very fast, both the implicit and explicit values of an option, they go to the moon, because it was a sudden increase in volatility. So becomes like kind of like a bubble. It inflates the price of the option. And you can see that we sold a 153 and we bought it back for 606 per contract. Of course, I had only 0.42 contracts, but you can see how hard it was. It was an 8% loss, but we were able to flip it because we closed that very early. If we had waited until Wednesday or Thursday to close it out, it was going to be ugly for us. So the moral of the story pretty much is that we shouldn't really try to marry our bags. We should be able to see that our intuition was not right and flip it before it is too late for us. Because otherwise, this, instead of being an 8%, could have been a 12, maybe 13% loss for which would have brought us back like 2 months, maybe 2 months in our portfolio growth. And since this is a long journey, this is not something to make us rich today. This is not something to make us profitable today, but it is something for the long term. We closed it very, very well. So the Ethereum then, we made 4.61% on that one, and that one closed in our favor. So we it expired worthless, so we collected that $92. And right now I just have this option longing Bitcoin for $39. You can see right here. So far it is, I'm not making any money. I'm not gonna lose any money because I still believe that Ethereum is gonna go up a little bit more. Also Bitcoin. So I'm bullish that this will give us some like 10, 13, maybe $20 in profit, so we can reduce our losses from this week. So let's talk about the butterfly, which also we opened last week. So the butterfly was not profitable, but I didn't think that I was going to be profitable from the first butterfly that I opened in DeFi, just because we don't have calculators for these things yet. So I have to do all the math manually to see what my P&L will be, what my risk is going to be, what is the risk to reward ratio, all these sort of things. So for the butterfly last week, if you remember, I opened the Iron Butterfly. So I bought one in the money call. I sold 2 at the money calls, and I bought another in the money call. Out of the money call, sorry. So this is called an Iron Butterfly, and you can see that we ended up losing. We lost the whole position, but it was only $90. So worst case scenario, I only lost $90. It is not like selling options that it is unlimited losses if Ethereum or whatever underlying asset we're selling, if they skyrocket or they drop very, very fast, we can have unlimited losses. With this the Iron Butterfly, you have limited risks and you have high returns. So I lost 90, and from my calculations of return to risk to return, the risk was $90, and the return on the highest, on the peak, meaning that if Bitcoin was at the peak or at $27,000 by yesterday, by expiration, by today actually, I could have made $450 more or less. I think it was 1 to 5 the risk reward ratio. So it was very, very good. I opened another butterfly. We'll show that later. I still don't think this is going to be profitable, but it is helping me understand what is the better strike, what is the best range that I should choose for my butterflies. Again, this is what I'm saying. I don't open these butterflies with, I open that with my personal account, with another account, just because then I can play it a little more aggressive, and I'm not even going to show that how I open these positions, because I don't want people to copy me so far, because so far is still in trial and error. This week was a very good trial. We did lost $90, but for this portfolio size that we have right here, it wasn't even a loss. So April is still at $11 profit. So we're good to go. I think I don't see any issues with trying week after week, even if we're gonna lose a little bit of that money. I think eventually I'll take the gist of it. next week, this week I still used it for Bitcoin. Next week I'm gonna try to see if we are able to have a nice spread when doing the Iron Butterfly for Ethereum. Maybe Ethereum is better because it has more volatility. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We need to try before we find our strategy. Our winning strategy needs to be made from hours and hours of study, of dedication. It is not something that you can just buy something, read on it, and then you're going to be the genius of options, or for whatever, actually, for whatever you're trying to master, you need to have trial and error. So this loss of $90 was way less hurtful to me than the loss of $100 that we had on our public portfolio, because this one was just a move in the market that took away $100 from us. So for this week, let's take a look at the charts. I specifically didn't try to look for anything, so we could do it here together as always. Let's see if we actually have any questions. Funny Toro says, in your V2 of the tracker, you should have a notes column to capture your thoughts on when entering. Usually when I enter a position, I do it live. Only when I'm fixing the positions that did not work, for example, the Bitcoin one that I had to close, then these ones, I don't vocalize on why am I opening these positions. But it is actually a good idea, just because other people that can eventually use the spreadsheet, they can also keep a journal of what their thought process was. So thank you for the idea. I'll make sure to add that. Yo, hello, Zach. Good morning. Welcome. So we have Bitcoin here at 30K, 30.2K. It got all the way to 30.9, so almost 31K. And Ethereum currently is at 2,600. So let me actually go fix this chart right here. What am I looking for here for this week? I think I'm gonna go for Ethereum instead of Bitcoin again. Bitcoin kind of hurt my feelings this week, so I don't think I'm gonna keep going for Bitcoin. But actually, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts this week? Do you think the market's still gonna be bullish? It's gonna keep the momentum going? You can see that if you go to the weekly, you can see that both Ethereum and Bitcoin, they were in a nice momentum and a nice uptrend. So do you guys believe this is still gonna be going this week, or this week's we're gonna have a correction a little bit like we had this week right here when it went to 28, then it got a little bit of a correction, and then it went again to 30K. So what are your thoughts? Let's discuss a little bit on what do you guys think the market's gonna, how do you guys think the market's gonna act this week? And then I'll give you my opinion as well to see what can we do this week for our options. I already saw right here someone commenting, sold some Ethereum puts at 1925 strikes, 12 hours to expire. So you did 1 day expiration, I think. So Cosmin says, yeah, just because I'm super new and playing it very safe at the beginning. That's the best strategy that you can have, to be honest. Take it very slow, take it very safe. Don't rush towards the yield that you're gonna get the first weeks. Try to get it better. Actually, try to get a better understanding of the market before getting a better yield from the market. Hopefully both will pull back to consolidate before another leg. Ethereum to 4K next week. 1000x long. Nice. Sleep Moneymaker, do you have the ranges for this week? I've been very busy, so I didn't even reach out to ask for the ranges for Ethereum, not for Bitcoin. Funny Toro says, I usually like to go against the direction of the market. I'm able to extract more premium out of it. Sleep Moneymaker, thank you. Very, very fast. He says April 21st, the interval is going to be 1893 to 2130K, 34. So 1893. 1893 to 21. Oh, very tight range this week. Oh, I'm in the weekly, that's why. 1893 right here to 2134. Yeah, Funny Toro said something interesting, which is that usually what people do for stocks, the rule of thumb is if the market's green, you sell calls. If the market's red, you sell puts. This is pretty much the unspoken rule that we have for stock options. It does apply for crypto as well, but sometimes you get this ramping green candle like happened this week with Ethereum, with Bitcoin, that just eats your profit away. So outliers like Shanghai event are just impossible to predict. Still, the model's error was just $27, which is crazy good from my perspective. Yes, of course. Unfortunately, these events are hit or miss. There's not people who got it right. Is just because it is a 50-50 chance of getting it right. To be honest, this is my honest opinion. You might disagree with it, but we had a lot of people saying that Ethereum was going to drop. We were going to see lower lows, whatever it is for that. I've been successful with 4 weeks of puts on Ethereum. Going to stick with another put, either 1850 or 1900. Good. Cosmin says, which model? The model that he's talking about is that range that he just gave us, the 1893 to 2134. That is what he has. He's been helpful with us. He's been helping us here in the live stream and also in the Sleep Money Club, giving us these ranges for that helps us trade week after week. So has been really good, but the model sometimes, as he said, the model cannot predict these movements. So I am also thinking of going for a call for a put this week, even though green days we should sell calls and red days we should sell puts. I still believe that the market should rally a little bit more. Maybe again, I'm not reading the market right, but let's take a look at both sides. Of course, this week we're gonna keep looking at Ethereum. We're not gonna be looking at Bitcoin. So let's see the premiums on both sides to see if actually makes sense to trade another leg rather than this one. So let me actually show you the butterfly before, what I currently have for the butterfly for Bitcoin right here. So I sold a 28,500. I actually bought a 28,500 and a 33,000. So these are the two legs, the two extremes of my butterfly, and the apex of my butterfly is 31,000. So Bitcoin at 31,000, I'm gonna have the maximum profit. This one right here, I still haven't done the risk reward ratio, but I think it is 1-4 or 1-5, like last week's. So I'm risking 1, but if I make the money, I make 5 times what I've risked. So this is the beauty of these butterflies. Of course, for us to be total profitable, 100% profitable, we need Bitcoin to be close to 31K by April 21st. So we will see. This is the gamble that I took for this portfolio here. Now, let's take a look at our charts right here. Let's go to sell. Let's go to calls first. Let's see calls first. So a 22,000 has a delta of 20. A 23,000 has a delta of 9. Jacques said, thoughts on entering on Mondays. Um, it is fine. For example, I sold my Ethereum option on Monday, but because we had high volatilities. So the volatility made up for the premium that was lost throughout the weekend. 7 days, you have a full week, and each and every day that passes, your theta right here, your theta is gonna go up higher. So right now the theta is $2 here, for example, meaning that this 720 that is displayed right here, tomorrow, even if Ethereum stays at the same price, this options, the premium of the option is gonna go down by $2.13 just because of theta. Okay, so each and every day the theta is gonna go up exponentially each and every day because that's how theta works. Theta is time decay. So by selling something on Monday, you already lost 2 days to time decay. So it is only good, and it is only a good strategy if you're trying to play it very safe. If the protocol has enough strikes, for example, selling on Lira on Mondays is very hard because they have tight liquidities. So they're not like Synquote, which has market makers. They have their own liquidity on Lira. So on Mondays, you might just only find 4 strikes. You're gonna find two strikes in the money, 2 strikes out of the money. So, but for Synquote, for example, only if throughout the weekend we have an increase in implied volatility, so a rally like we saw in price, a spike in price or a drop in price, very significant movements, then the theta is not gonna affect the premium as much because we also are gonna have on our side gamma and delta. Okay, gamma and delta, they rely on volatility as well, also Vega. So my thoughts is that it depends. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't sell on Monday, but it depends. If you're chasing higher premiums, then you should sell on Friday to Fridays. If you're looking for safety, then you should sell on Mondays to Fridays, because then you have less days to expiration, less chance of the options going against you. Did that make sense? I hope it made sense. Do you ever make use of delta hedging with futures? Honestly, it doesn't make sense for such a small portfolio. It would make sense if I had more than 10K. For example, if I had more than 10K, then yes, I open a position and I neutralize it by opening a perpetual on the other side. So this way, worst case scenario, I go even. But for a small portfolio and for smaller trades, I don't think it makes sense for you to neutralize. Okay. You're having more risks, but also it doesn't make sense for you to have fragmented liquidity here on, and then another, like, let's say you have 3K, you're gonna have 2.5K on Synquote, excuse me, and another $500 that could have been on Synquote getting more yield, but those $500 is on GMX or G-Trade for you to neutralize your position with a long or a short on the asset. So I don't think it makes sense. But for bigger accounts, it does, because it protects you and the account can grow steadily without having negative days. And this is good for the overall health of the portfolio. So let's take a look at this right here. I think 6 maybe. I think 6 is too much. Actually, I have to move my camera, otherwise you guys are not going to be able to see. Apologies. Okay. 6 is too much. Yeah, we're gonna go for 5.4 maybe. Three. What I'm doing here is trying to extract the most leverage out of the contracts that I'm selling. So right now, I can sell 5.3 contracts and get $38 in premium. So if we do the math, I don't think it's going to be 2%. I think it's going to be less than, I think it's going to be like 1.7% maybe. 3814. We'll divide this by 2, 219, 2.56, 1.73. Okay, I got it right. 1.73 if we sell a $23,000 strike. Let's go for the 22. Go for the 22, which is around 10% from the 7% from to break even. So 5.3 as well. Right here we have 87, 8705. So 8705. We'll divide this by 2192.56, which is my collateral. 4% almost. I actually had the calculator outside of the screen. So we have 4% here if we sell the 22, but the 22 is 19 delta. Okay, so 19 delta, a little bit risky. Let's take a look at the puts for this week. So let's go. A 1950 has a 22 delta. Let's go for a 1900 has a 14 delta. So 1900, $12. So right here we go 5.3 as well. Let's see. Aren't you too close to liquidation? Balance required is 2178 and you have 2198. No, this is not the liquidation price. This is not a liquidation price. This is the minimum requirement. Once you open the position on SyncQuote, we've made it sure that the minimum requirement is not close to liquidation. So once you open the position, you're gonna have a health factor right here, and you can see you can get it very tight. You can get like the same amount of requiring balance as you have of current balance. You can try to open a position and your health factor will be still 1.5. So we've made sure that everything that is opened to the most leverage possible is going to be on 1.5. This way people are not just going to try to go ham on the leverage and have a very tight liquidation. So 1.5 and health factor is still very good. We usually keep our health factor between 1.5, 1.3. After, when it comes up under 1.3, I usually put a notify. I have a notify here set for when it goes to under 1.3, then I get a notification. So for me to take a close look of the markets. But I usually already have, I'm always looking at the markets. So I'm always aware when, even before the health factor goes below 1.3, I know I have to close position or add more collateral, these sort of things. I never add more collateral. Sometimes I just close partially the position to have less, to get my health factor above the price. So I hope this was able to answer your question. Once you opened it, it's not going to be just close to liquidation at all. You still have a good margin. And you can also, again, put the notify button to notify once it gets closer to the health factor. So for us here, it would get $70. And this was a delta 15. So we go 70, 54, and we divide this by 2192, 56. So right here we made 3.2. This is a little bit safer. I like this one, to be honest. Take a look at the 1850. Delta's $7. The 1950 I think is too risky. Actually, take a look. 1950s is around right here. Okay, so we have the 2300 was how much? How much did we say that was? 1.7. So we have a 1.7 here on the 2300. We have a 3 point something on the 1900. 1900 is 8% to break even. And this one is 12% to break even. And volatility here is a little bit low, 61. Let's see right here, what is volatility? 57. Let me just take a look right here. So, looking at this, what would you guys do? I think the 1900 looks good, to be honest. You get a little bit more premium. And personally, let me see the weekly here. 1900. Or maybe we should risk. I sold the 1850 put. I sold the 1850 put. Yeah, I think the 1900 is the gamma levels. This morning when I checked, they were all over the place. So let's see if people took sides already instead of having multiple support and resistances. Let me see right here. Because sometimes they're very clear, sometimes they're not clear at all. It doesn't make any sense for us to even look at them. And I looked this morning when I was doing the... Okay, so now they seem to have stabilized. So we have a huge 1900 support for Ethereum. We also have a tiny 1950, but 5.2 is not 5.4 is not enough gamma for people to have for people to neutralize those positions. And then we have the 2300 on the other spectrum, but again, very little. Here we have a 30, which is good. Let's take a look at today's. What is today? How's today doing? Today we have the 2K is 474 negative, meaning there's a lot of orders right here. Right here it's very liquid, a lot of liquidity here. And here we have a 1.8. But again, this is just for today. This one doesn't apply. This is just what is going on today as gamma. So for this one, the 1900, the 1850 would be. Does this site have block sales price data? No, no. Do you have any? Do you know any indicators, Jacques, for block data? Because I don't think Greek's Life doesn't have it either, and Levitas doesn't have it either. So do you know? Take a look right here again. The 1850. I usually get the block data. Where do you go on overview, or do you go on a specific? under options, order flow, activity, options flow. Switch to Ethereum. Then you just unclick the what? The non-block buys. Okay, that's good. So overall, people are bullish. You can see right here. Let me see the open interest for. Never mind, I think I broke it. You only want to see what the big players are buying and selling, understand, but sometimes the open interest comes from multiple smaller people just buying and selling together. Sometimes they can, of course, not always, but they can flip the market in open interest. This is actually really good. I've never seen this on Levitas because I usually went to options and volatility. I think yeah, activity statistics. I think this is the one I usually looked at. So a lot of people are bullish. You can see that there's a lot of people buying calls, but again, there's a lot of people selling calls, and I think sellers are a little bit smarter, to be honest. Not to brag, but um, sellers are a little bit smarter than buyers most of the time. Buyers just wanna 100x their profits, to be honest. So we can see that there's a lot of selling calls and there's a lot of selling and not as much selling puts right here. So we can see that the sellers this week are more focused on selling calls. So let's actually go back right here. Look at Ethereum sell call. The 2200 is 19 delta. 19 delta. I don't want to risk that, to be honest. Yeah, I think this week we're just gonna get less yield, just so we don't risk it. We already lost this week. I think we should just call it even and get a small premium. If right here, this is actually 85, so even if we go for puts, the 95 is just the 80. Yeah, the put side is a little bit better just because the premium is a little bit better and they're both lower than 10 delta. So let's actually quote this real quick to see. I think we should be content into getting less than 2% this week, just so we can get things going again from from where we were. If option sellers are doing something, should we interpret that we should what they are doing, which should what they're doing, which should follow what they're doing? Is that what you want to say? I personally spend time looking at these things for me to have my own opinion. Sometimes my own opinion can indeed um, be the same as whatever the market's saying, whatever sellers are doing. Sometimes it's not. Most of the time, for example, if you follow Crypto Ricardo, we both have profitable weeks and we do the opposite trades. So sometimes I open a very out of the money call and he opens a very out of the money put. Doesn't mean that I'm smarter than him or he's smarter than me. We have two different views of the markets, and because we are going very safe, meaning that we go very low deltas, very out of the money, we both profit. So doesn't mean, not necessarily because a lot of people are selling, a lot of people are buying. This just shows what the market thinks is going to happen. That not necessarily reflects to how the market's going to behave. Again, there was a lot of bullish, a lot of bearish sentiment for the Shanghai event, which ended up not being true. Of course, sometimes bearish sentiments can scream louder than bullish sentiments, so maybe they were the same. But if you look at these index at volumes, a lot of people were more bullish, to be honest. A lot more people were more bearish, to be honest. So, for example, right now, I think it makes sense for us to take it safe, at least for me this week, to take it safe, to go 9 delta, so very low deltas, but to profit, because it doesn't matter. We're not trying to predict the markets here. We're just trying to profit. So even if we profit just a little bit, maybe next week we're going to have a lateral market again, like we had for the past few months, where the market was sideways for weeks and weeks and weeks, and we could sell whatever side that we would have been profitable. So again, this is my strategy. This is not everyone's strategy. So for me, I'd much rather not be right but still be profitable than be profitable than be right but not be very profitable, or have to close position earlier, take some losses, these sort of things. So again, this is why I think I'm gonna go for the put right here, very out of the money, very out of the money. So we're gonna get 1 point. Didn't even finish here. So we're gonna get 1.7 this week, 1.73, which is very little, but it is a profit. Okay, I don't think we're gonna have issues with this 1850. I really don't see it happening. We're just gonna have less premium, but that's fine. Green is green, you know, profit is profit. So let's lock this up right here. Quote has expired, of course. It took too long. I was rambling. 38. We can actually sell option. Try again. Reload the page. Oh, the wallet expired. This is why. Let me log in. Hello, mate. Welcome. Green is green, no reason to go ham. Exactly. Sometimes you're gonna make 4%. Sometimes you're just gonna make 1.7, you know? This is not a strategy to make the most amount of money in the shortest period of time. This is not one of these 1 to 10 ETH, you know, 1 ETH to 10 ETH. This is not one of these challenge. These challenges is like 1 ETH to 100,000 ETH in 10 years, you know. We're here for the long term. So let's go the 1850 again, 91, 717, 5.3. Quote, I think now we're going to be able to open it. I think the FPS got fixed a little bit, right? Or are you guys still seeing it very, very choppy? Because for me, the warning went away. Transaction submitted. There we go. We sold that. And we have the Bitcoin position. Wow, the Bitcoin actually went down a little bit. 40% on the $30 trade. Take a look at Bitcoin is at 30K. Okay. And Ethereum is at 2K and 50. Okay, not too bad. Honestly, Bitcoin already touched this resistance right here. I think it's gonna go down a little, but it should keep going up because it is in a bullish momentum, to be honest. So I'm not too worried. And it was also only $30, so it was made to be a little bit of a gamble to try and get more money for our losses last week. But if we cannot get that, also doesn't really matter. So this is it. This is our position. We went very safe. We went very not chasing premiums, but chasing safeties for this week. Jacques says, this bull market, I told myself I will now go for the big swings, big trades. Like in the past, I will go for boring and repeatable trades. Correct. Yesterday, I was in a podcast and we're talking about winning strategies. And the winning strategies is not one that makes you a lot of money. It is one that is profitable most of the time. Of course, profitable does indeed become making a lot of money. But profitable doesn't mean tons of money. It means it works every time. The strategy can be repeated over and over, and the assertivity, the win rate is high enough for you to over and over throughout a span of multiple weeks or months or years, whatever it is, the time frame that you choose to invest from, is gonna be profitable. It's gonna grow your portfolio. So this is indeed, no one can say selling options is an EV negative. It is a negative strategy because otherwise people wouldn't have been doing it for so long, both for stocks and now for crypto. Of course, this is very new for crypto. My hope is that one day we will have the possibilities of trading with the underlying asset or with stablecoins. Because crypto is way more modular than traditional finances. So if you want to go USDC as collateral, you do that and you get leveraged. If you want to go Ethereum as collateral, you do that and then you can do the wheel. You can get executed, you can get assigned, you can buy or sell your Ethereum for a specific price, just like with stock options. And I do believe this is eventually where all these protocols, or at least the good protocols, are gonna go. They're gonna be modular to adapt to whatever strategy the user has. And the strategy for us is going to become even better because now we can roll out options. Now we can get assigned. We can get better entry prices. We can get better average prices for our cryptos, the cryptos that we collect, the cryptos that we like. So I hope this was a good stream. I hope this was an insightful stream. If it was, again, thank you for taking some time. Thank you for the likes. 10 likes. I think this is the biggest amount of likes we had, and during the live stream as well. I hope you guys have a profitable week, even if it is just a little bit, just tiny gains. I hope you have gains this week for you. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Of course, take care. If you have any questions, Twitter is going to be down here in the description. Discord, Sleep Money Club, I'm always there for everyone. We had an amazing discussion today with a couple of fellows in the Sleep Money Club. It was very, very insightful, I think, to put our brains to work together, understand how options work or how strikes and expiration dates work. And it was amazing. So thank you for people from the Sleep Money Club for chatting in the crypto options tab. I'll see you guys next Friday. See you. And there's a video coming up in a couple of hours here in the channel as well, so make sure to check it out. See you. Take care.